I have a large piece of citrine here. Bought it at a rock show. It's a polished heart, they call it. And it is citrine, and it is nice and clear. It's not the greatest color, but it's good size. What we're going to do is, I've never done a pear this big. We're going to do a super pear. Reason being I chose this design is it is a wider, fatter pear, and I need that for a ring that I'm trying to put together. So this is the first time I'm doing that one, and right now I'm just started putting a little flat spot on the back of it here so I can mount it on my dop stick. So that's where we're starting out at. I'm going to work on that. I've just got a 320 plate on there, and I'm going to grind down until I get a spot big enough for my dop stick. So let's get to it. Well, this is our next project here. Riley and I, she's right here ready to go. We're going to do this super pear. It's a fatter pear than some of the other designs, and in order to make it super, we're going to use a super piece of rough. This is a light smoky quartz, and we're going to grind that down into this shape here. We're going to get going on that. It's going to be a lot of extra grinding. I don't really want to try to pre-shape it. I'm just going to shape it according to the facets. So that's what we're going to do next. Got quite a few facets, and I haven't done this one before, so it'll be interesting. See what it comes out to be. Well, Riley, are you ready to go? Is that a yes or a no? I think it's a yes. Okay, we're ready. Let's get going. Well, I've been grinding on this for quite a while now. Taking away a lot of stone. But we've got it down to almost to a QLit point. See a little bit here that's not cut yet. But I've been using a very rough 100 grit plate. So now I'm going to actually switch to 600. And I'm going to clean these 6 facets up. Once I get them cleaned up, I should be at a QLit point where I need to be. And then we will move on to the next set of facets. Alright, I've got those first set of facets cut to 600 grit. Quartz only has a hardness of 7, but the size of stone you're doing this a big surface and it cuts hard. So what I did was I got a 600 grit plate on here, diamond topper, and I added some 600 grit to it with a little bit of snake oil, and then watered it down just slightly. It'd make it cut a little faster, a little sharper, and a little smoother. So I'm ready to go on to the next set of facets. We've got the first set done here. I cut these first ones here, and they're at 43 degrees. We're going to go on to the next set here. There's only 2 of them here. P2s. Oops, I'm sorry. Yeah, these are at 43 degrees, this first set here. Now the P2 facets, there's only 2 of them, 40 and 56, and they're going to cut at 4102. So a lot of these diagrams now have down to the 100th, like 3462 and 3066, and it's rather difficult to cut with some machines. Fortunately, I do have a good machine, the Ultratech, that I can set to any degree and cut. So that if you can't cut with this machine, then you better give it up, I think. You still have to use caution and care, but it really gives you a leg up to get a good piece of merchandise when you're done. So we're going to go on to this next set. As I already showed you, we're going to cut the P2 facets, which are right here. These 2 right here, 40 and 56. And I stated, like, when you cut them, your cut is going to start out here towards the tip and work its way in. And what that's going to look like is this. It's going to start out the tip here. And as the facet gets bigger, it'll come closer and closer and closer to the cullet point. And when you reach that cullet point, that's where you stop. We're going to stop just a fraction before we get there because we need room for each step, because you'll be cutting some off the stone each time you go to a finer grit. So that's where we're heading. We have our P2 facets cut right here, and as you can see, I stopped just shy of my cullet point, because when I do my next finer grit, that'll bring everything right up to the point then. Just about at our final shape at that point. So next we're going to start working all the other little facets. Our next step is the P3 facets. We're going to be cutting these two right here and here. So that's where we're heading now, the P3s. They cut at 90 degrees, just 3 and 93 is our two settings there, and then we'll jump back up onto the pavilion. Well, we've got all the facets cut on the pavilion of this pair. It's as most complicated patterns go, the better you set up the cullet point, the better off you're going to be. I was off just a little bit, and I had to chase some of these facets to get them back in place. But I think we're pretty good shape right now. I'm working on polishing them, and I am using an ultralap, Spectra Ultralap. This is a Smokey quartz, so it polishes real good on ultralap. And that's where I'm at right now, working through the facets here. Once I get these done, I'll do the girdle, and then we'll glue it up for transfer. Alright, we've got all the pavilion facets polished. I hope we have enough room there. I think I did leave just enough room on this stone. Keep our fingers crossed on that. And we're just going to put it into a cone dop, and I have selected a pretty good sized cone dop. Not too big though, because I want to make sure it fits properly. But we're going to once again use the older jig that I've got, because I need the size for the stone. My new one doesn't fit very well. So that's what we're up to next. We're going to glue it up for transfer and then get it ready to start the table. Got the first facet cut right here, and we're bringing it down to where we want the girdle thickness to be. And I wasn't quite happy with the way I had it set up. It looked like it was off just a little bit, so I used the cheater to turn the stone so I would cut a little bit further on this end of the facet instead of this end. So we pulled it back towards me, which rotated the facet, so I would be cutting more on this side. And that straightened the line up pretty good to the girdle. It looks pretty good here. I'm pretty happy with that. This is 600 grit, so I'm going to go on and do a few more facets and make sure that we're still okay. Alright, we're cutting our second facet here, and it looks like it's coming in pretty straight, so I'm going to keep on going. Well, Riley's here. She stopped by just to see what was going on, make sure everything's okay. Can't fast without her. She's the helper. Right, Riley? Right, there she is. Everything's okay now. Okay, we'll keep going then. Well, we've got all our facets cut on the crown. I had to bring the height down a little bit because I did not have enough room for the exact design that it is. So this is not exactly the proper design, but I think it's going to come out really nice. I like the shape of the facets. So now we're going to go over it with a 3000 grit for a semi-polish, and then we'll polish it. That's where we are right now. Riley's here with me, right, Riley? And she's ready to go, and we're going to put it through the steps here on 3000, and then we'll go to the polish after that. You ready? Yep, she's ready. I can see it. She's ready. Got all the facets polished on the crown. I'm ready to cue it up into the tabletop, and we'll cut the table. Takes a little time to do this stone. There's lots and lots of different angle changes. Got a whole list here. Well, we have our super pear done. I measured it up. It's 21 by 28 millimeters. It's a big stone. It's really big. And we're going to put it on the scale here and see what we come up with a carat weight. Turned out really well. Lots of angle changes, takes lots of time. But take your time, be accurate, and you can get it. Alright, here it is. 46.9. Not quite 47 carats. I told you it was big. And it turned out really nice.